Divorce lawyers. What is the craziest way a spouse has tried to screw over the other? I have been a divorce attorney for several years, and I've seen a lot of crazy things. But honestly, this one takes the cake. A few years ago I had taken the case of a middle-aged woman who was going through a divorce. A few weeks after we first met I was able to print up some documents basically saying that her husband was no longer welcome at their residence. I gave it to my client to give to her spouse, and the following day, he packed up his things and left. When my client arrived back home the following evening she immediately noticed that all of his belongings were gone. It didn't take long to realize that objects were glued to each other. What I mean by this is the husband decided to glue all of the home objects to each other. For example, the remote was glued to the coffee table and the fridge was glued shut. The pillows were glued to the couch, the sheets to the bed, the toilet seat to the toilet, and so on. She immediately called the police, who documented everything. They spent 5 hours scanning through the house trying to find all of the glued items. Even after they left, she continued to find glued items. She called the non-emergency line another 50 times or so to update her case. Calls like, "The oven mitts are glued together," or "My shoes are glued to the floor." Once everything was settled, the husband had to pay almost 20 grand for the repairs and replacements of the items. You could call it a waste, but honestly, that seemed like the best way to blow $20,000.